Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host, Veena, and today my guest is a lady who's always believed that when parents feel supported, healed and empowered, that's when children experience the biggest transformations. She is living proof of that. With a degree in childhood and youth studies and over 7 years of personal healing and growth, she first set out to become a children's counsellor. But on her journey, she realised something powerful. The greatest impact happens when parents themselves feel seen, supported and equipped. Her work today focuses especially on single parents and co-parents, where she helps them to break generational cycles, release guilt and truly step into the role of calm, confident leaders for their children. She combines professional training with her own lived experience, offering a coaching style that's both warm and practical. What I love is her mission to help parents build stronger connections with their children, not through perfection, but through presence, self-awareness, and compassion. She guides parents to heal themselves so they can raise children who feel safe, valued, and deeply connected. So I'm so excited to welcome my beautiful guest, Aman Kaur. Welcome, Aman, to the Founder's Chair.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you?
I am good, thank you. Yes.
So that's some journey, and to do it from the other side.
Yes.
Where the parent has to heal themselves.
Yes. I was listening to that and I was like, wow, that's incredible. And I
That's
was like, wait,
you.
that's me.
That's you. That's all you. I mean, I've
Yeah.
known you for a few years now, and you
Yeah.
just have this, your aura, your energy. It's so warm, and you can tell you've been on a journey, a
Yeah.
healing journey.
Yeah, 100%. It's been beautiful and I would do it all over again to become this person I am today.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how many years have you been on this journey?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. 7 years in November, it all started.
And how did it start?
So it was, my marriage ended. My ex-husband and I were going through a rough patch and he was having an affair with someone else for about 6 months before I called it quits. And he was lying and saying he wasn't having an affair and this woman was just a friend, but he'd see her come home late, been on holiday with her, but lied and said she wasn't there when he's come back with lipstick on his lips and makeup on his shirt. And it's like, that's just wine. And after 6 months of crying every day, my kid was 2 at the time. She said to me, "Mummy, stop crying. Why'd you cry so much?" And I one day just went upstairs, brought a suitcase down and I said, "Please pack your stuff and go. Go for a week, go for 2. Whatever you do, just you need to leave now." And he and ahed, eventually left. And I said to him at the door, I says, "I bet you'll never come back." And that was the end of our marriage. Obviously, it wasn't as easy. There was a lot of rocky stuff that went on in between, as it does.
I can imagine, yes.
Yeah, but that was the start of it. So my ex-husband's actions, which I'm very grateful for today, led me to this journey.
Sometimes at the time you're like, my God, why is this happening to me? It's so unfair, but you just don't know. It's all meant to happen.
Yeah, 100%. If at the time I was broken, I, spent another 6 months crying, and some of his family was very supportive. And, one of his aunties would be like, "You need to stop crying. You need to get back on your feet. You've got a kid to look after and you need to just move forward with your life." And I was like, but how? My whole life was revolved around this man. And now he's gone because he's left me for someone else. Why was I not good enough? Because that's what you think at the time.
Of course you do.
So yeah, it was hard. But now I can say it's beautiful to have been there. It sounds weird, I know, but it's true.
So 7 years ago that happened. How long were you married?
7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So he never came back, as you said at the door.
Tried to come back. It was umming and ahhing between me and her. And then he agreed to go see a couples counsellor. But when he showed up to that session, he thought we were doing co-parenting counselling, which was confusing for both me and the counsellor present. And he said, "Look, she's fantastic. She's brilliant. I'd like to get to know her again, but also still carry on with the woman I'm with and then decide who I'd like to end up with at the end of it all." And that was it. That one comment drew the line for me. And I went, no, because I was willing to try. I really was. I didn't want to give up that easily. But when he said that, I was like, I'm not a second option. And that's when I drew the line about 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I drew that line. I said, no, I'm done. And the therapist called me after and she said, never change your decision. He's not the one for you. So yeah, there was lots of umming and ahhing in between up until that one comment.
As women, we don't give up easily. We keep trying to fix things and fix them when really we need to look at ourselves.
Yeah, work on ourselves, 100%. I was too in love with him to not even recognize myself in that marriage, in that relationship. And coming out of it and doing all the work I've done on myself, I am definitely me now. And if someone is in my life, they're an addition to me, they're not my life. Even with my kid, I say to her, I love myself first. You're always going to be number 2 to me because I'm more important than you are. But I've also taught her the same. I'll be like, who do you love the most? Myself, mummy. I'm like, yes, up here. Come on, let's do this.
Oh, I love that.
Because I want her to always make sure she's first.
Yeah.
And not sacrificing herself for someone else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As women, we do, especially South Asian women.
Yes.
We just worry about the whole world and put ourselves last.
Yeah.
But how did you make that shift? You said you did work on yourself. What did you do?
So I started with therapy. I saw about 3 or 4 therapists first until I found one who just understood. So growing up, I went through a challenging childhood. I've been through sexual, physical, emotional trauma. I try not to call it trauma because I don't see it as trauma anymore. But most people would call it trauma. And I worked on that. I understood that. And the therapist I worked with was amazing because everything I would moan about my ex, she'd be like, okay, where is that in your childhood? Everything I moaned, it's like, okay, where is it in your childhood? Where is it in your childhood? And we'd always come back to my childhood. And then I discovered and uncovered the trauma I'd hidden. Essentially, I'd put a lid on it and gone, I'm never dealing with this. I know I've had something bad happen to me, but let's never look at it and talk about it until she said, no, that's where you start. You've got to understand that because if you don't heal that, this carries on. So we started on that. Yeah, new relationships. My child would have had an upset, aggressive, angry mother because I was obviously bubbling in this pan that I'd put a lid on. So I had to unpack all of that. I spent 2 years with that therapist and unpacked everything. There'd be points where I'd get up at night and I'd feel someone in my room or someone touching me, or just I'd have vivid dreams and it'd freak me out and I'd be like, oh my God, what's just happening? And I'd ring her and she'd be like, it's your body releasing what all the stuff you've kept stored in it. So that went on for 2 years. Then I took a break and then I started working with coaches. Went back to university because I thought, right, I'm going to help children. I'm going to become a children's counsellor because I don't want a kid to go through what I went through and give them the support that they need on their journey. But it was my second year at university where I was like, wait, it's not the kid that needs the help. It's the parent because the parent's the one who's passing their bag on to the kid. And even if the kid's got something new, they don't know how to help the kid because they're being triggered. So I decided to go finish off university and do a conscious parenting coach with Dr. Shafali. So I did the conscious parenting coach with her and became a conscious parenting coach. Because when I looked at her stuff, I was like, I do all this. I am this. I want to be able to then learn more and teach other parents and help parents connect back to themselves so that they can be more present with their children and give their children a different future to what they possibly could with all the anger and resentment they're carrying within them. So that's how that started.
That's so amazing because we really don't want to unpack what's happened in our childhood because, the triggers. So I know you met an amazing counsellor who helped you through all of this. So if there's somebody listening now and they're too scared to go to a counsellor, what else can they do to help themselves, to just try and start unpacking it? Because women, I know you're a lot younger than me, but women of our generation, my generation, your generation, being South Asian, we just don't talk about it. It's so taboo.
Yeah.
What can they do?
I would say every time you're triggered, pause and ask yourself, what is going on for me? When did I feel like this? What age do I feel as well? because you'll be transported back to whatever age it is that you're being triggered at. So just ask yourself, how old do I feel right now? What do I need from myself? And sometimes you'll snap in front of your child and you can't do it then. I do it now with my kid. I'll snap at her. And then later I'll go away and I'll be like, what was going on for me? Why did I react like that? And then I'll reflect and I was like, oh God, it feels like this. It feels like I'm not being listened to. I'm not being heard. Obviously, my child's not the problem because it's not her place to listen to me. But it's okay. Where did I feel like I wasn't being listened and heard to? Oh, I was this old. It was with this parent. This is how I felt. Okay, what can I give myself now to then make up for that loss that I had then? Give myself time out, give myself 10 minutes, 5 minutes, recoup with myself again. Then I will always go back to my kid and I'll say, I'm really sorry I reacted that way, but there was something going on for me and I just needed to reflect on myself. And I'm sorry it wasn't you, it's 100% me. When she was younger and I started the work, she'd be like, Mummy, your inner child needs you now. Can you go sit with your inner child? And I'd be like, yes, I shall go speak to my inner child now. Thank you very much, coach. So yeah, I would say just pause, reflect, ask yourself, how old do I feel? What's going on for me? And then if you can, journal, because you're releasing it out of your body. If you can't verbally get it out your hand. And then try and see the patterns, what's sticking out for you more and more.
So, Aman, what's your youngest memory from your childhood trauma?
3 years old. It starts at 3, yeah, where I am at school and a boy is exploring himself, rather, not expressing himself. And I come home and my brother and I are talking about it. My mom finds out. She tells my dad and we get beaten for talking about this. So I think that's the first one that comes to mind. But through that, a lot of it is being beaten, being hit. It sounds a lot harsher being beaten because as a kid it does feel that way. You know, you're having to put your hand out with bamboo sticks and you can't move your hands. I've had bumps all the way down my leg because I've been hit so hard and I couldn't even sit at school when it wasn't even my fault for what had happened. A lot of it is violence related, what I remember. And then obviously there's the sexual stuff as well. But yeah, that's, I think, the biggest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to affect you as an adult.
But you don't realise there's so many women I've spoken to since I've been doing this work who've been through sexual experiences, sexual abuse. And when I speak to them, they're like, no, that's got nothing to do with it. I'm like, that's got everything to do with it. And also your kids are going to become teenagers. They're going to go into relationships. They're going to explore their sexuality outside. You're going to get triggered even harder with your kids doing stuff. And if you don't heal from it, that's going to traumatize them further. Or they're going to hide from you and go do things because they're going to think, well, we can't tell our parents. You want your kids to be able to come to you and talk to you so they can get guidance from you. So I think it's really important for women and men within our culture to talk about these experiences. Because as a parent, it does impact you. It really does. Generally, it does as well. But as a parent, your kids are going to trigger you hard with it.
Yeah, because sometimes you feel like you're reliving it.
Yeah.
So, Emma, many parents, especially single and co-parents, struggle with guilt, overwhelm, or feeling like they're not enough.
Yeah.
What do you say to a parent who feels this way right now?
They're not alone. I struggle with parent guilt with my kid and my dog, weirdly, but they're not alone. We all feel it because we're comparing ourselves to other people. Someone else is doing more, so you think, oh, they're better than me and I'm not doing enough. So what I would say is stop comparing yourself. Look at what you're doing because that's enough. Your kid is safe, they're being looked after, they're being loved. That's the most important thing. Buying them things is not important. It's what connection you build with them. So concentrate on the connection you're giving your kid. That could be 5-10 minutes, just being silly. And that will help you look at it and go, I'm giving my kid enough. My kid is being loved. The things don't matter. What others are doing with their kids don't matter because I know I love my kid and my kid knows I love them back. That's what I would say.
So how old is your daughter now?
She's 9.
So what's a typical thing you will do to make her feel safe, loved? I mean, I know that should come naturally to everybody, but I don't know, something that somebody hasn't thought of that is just so simple to do.
Just, God, I'm like, simple. I don't know. Sometimes it can be hard, but just giving them a hug, even when they don't want a hug.
Yeah, because they normally like, oh,
Yeah,
get
like,
off.
no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Or if they're in a strop and just say to them, hey, I'm here. You know, I'll stand there. I'm like, I'm here. Whenever you're ready, just come to me. And then 5 minutes later, I'm still standing there and she'll come in and she'll give me a hug.
Yeah.
Or just make their favorite food. You know, with my kid, I let her play her own music in the car. That's love. She just, I'm like, God, there's so many things. Just singing with her, dancing with her, doing what's important to her. I think that's what the answer is. Doing something that's important to your kid will show you that you love them, will make them feel special because you're taking time out of your life to do something they want.
I mean, these days you just see most parents just giving an iPad or a phone to their child. And I see that a lot. I mean, obviously my kids are, like my daughter's in her 30s, my son's in his late 20s. And we didn't have those things. And it was just, all right, maybe it was a TV, but it was more talking to them, reading to them, or playing in the park, bikes, whatever. But I know it's also these days, it's not safe sometimes, or you haven't got those facilities. So what else can parents do rather than just handing them a screen?
Set timers on the screens. That's what I do with my kid. She came home from school last night. You got 30 minutes, either iPad or TV. Then you got to do your homework. Then we're taking the dog out, eating dinner. Then you got another 30 minutes. That's 1 hour in the day. On weekends, again, you can go on TV or iPad for this long. And then it's no internet time, no TV time. On dinner tables, my rule is no phones, no electronics, because that's when we connect. That's when we talk. And then I have a dog, so we take him out for walks. That half an hour, 45 minutes is quality time for me and her. And we talk about anything and everything. But with parents who don't have dogs and can't do that, set timers. If it's not set timers for the TV, set timers for quality time together. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just snippets within the day so you're connecting with your kid and you know what's going on with them.
I love that. So you talk a lot about mindful parenting. For someone new to this idea, what does it really mean and how can it transform the way we connect with our children?
So mindful parenting is about coming back to yourself. It's understanding you, your patterns, your triggers, your beliefs, and then rewiring those. What is aligned with me? What is not aligned with me? What have I taken from the previous generations? And actually, what do I want to carry forward or do I want to drop that? And then when you drop that bag and you're passing on something completely different to your child, you're giving them a new set of values, beliefs, principles to carry forward, which are aligned with you. But as a mindful parent, you're working as a team with your kid and going, right, does this work for us as a family? Yes, it does. You're then creating new pathways together and not being the dictator parent saying, this is what's happening and this is what's going forward. You all are included in the decisions that are happening within the family. Obviously not the bigger decisions, but the day-to-day, what's going on and what's happening, your kid has a say in it. So they feel involved. So they feel like, actually, my voice matters. I can go to my parent and I can say something and they're going to listen and they're going to take it on board and possibly put it somewhere in what we're doing. So they're feeling more seen, heard and understood.
And have you been able to do things with your ex-husband in this journey as well?
In terms of work with him?
Yeah, and him being a more mindful parent as well.
I love that you asked that. So 2 Christmases ago, my daughter said to me, Mummy, can we buy him Dr. Shwali's parenting book? And I was like, huh. She goes, I think Daddy can use it. I was like, okay, let's buy it for him. I believe it's still not been finished.
Okay.
She says he started reading it, but it was too much for Daddy, so he put it away.
Right.
I've tried when I first broke up with him to help him, but then I realized it's not my journey to help him. He's got to go on his own journey. I, on the other hand, have done a lot of work on my relationship with him. So I'm much lighter when it comes to him. I'm not angry with him. I've probably sent him, God, about, I don't even know, so many text messages saying I'm really grateful to you and for what happened. Because if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't be this person today. So for me, it's freeing. Does that mean he doesn't trigger me? Of course he does. I call him my teacher because every time he triggers me, it's like, okay, let's go do some work on this because something new's come up for me. I would love for us to be a blended family. But I think my daughter says that's not happening. I am hopeful one day in the future it will.
Might do.
Yeah, I am hopeful.
And he's moved on.
He's moved on. He's remarried, got a beautiful baby girl. So yeah, it's my kid's got another sister, which is amazing. A great gift he's given her. So I'm really, really happy for them.
I love that. I love that you called him your teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. If everybody started thinking like that and didn't hate on them or want to destroy them.
Oh no.
If you take it as a teaching and learn from it.
Yeah. My nan said something to me when I was younger and I never quite understood it until I started the healing journey. She'd said to me, when you point a finger at someone, there's three pointing back at you. She goes, Aman, always look at the three pointing back at you. And when I really understood that, I was like, wait, he's not the problem. I have got the work to do on myself. I'm the one causing all these feelings within me, which I'm then pushing out onto him when it's not in his control. It's all me. And that's when I flipped it around and I was like, okay, me. Every time someone triggers me, what's going on for me? And he is, to this day, my biggest triggerer. So he has to be my teacher.
Right, so you're saying three fingers pointing back to you. So the fact that he had an affair and he met somebody else, would you say there was something in your first 7 years of your marriage that maybe had you worked on already, he may not have looked for
if I had worked on it beforehand, we wouldn't have been married.
Right.
Because he had his first affair before we'd gotten married.
Right.
And I'd still married him. And then he would flirt with other girls and that was a pattern that was carrying on. So I think if I had done any work on myself, I wouldn't have ended up with him because I would have seen my worth way before I realised I had it. And I always say, if I didn't have a daughter, I would never have asked him to leave. If I had a son, I probably would have said, it's fine. But I didn't want... My mom went through relationships where my dad was having affairs. My uncle did it. My granddad did it. My old dad's side of the family is from that. So I'm not surprised I ended up with someone who was doing the same thing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so I had to break that cycle. But at the time, I didn't know I was breaking the cycle because I was unconscious to anything. And when I go back and revisit that moment where I asked him to leave, it's interesting because I'm spiritual. So in that moment when I'm present, I see a line of women starting from my grandma, a line of women going all the way back, supporting me through that because they were never able to do
goosebumps.
it. Yeah, honestly, it's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
There's at least 20, 30 women standing behind me, supporting me in that moment. So I knew it had, like now when I look back at it, it had to be done.
So interesting, isn't it? When I had a guest on Lovely, and you know her.
Yes.
And she talks about generational healing, the womb healing.
Yeah.
And how these ancestors, they're there. They come and help you.
Yeah, 100%. I saw it when I go back to that moment, I see it. And I never believed it up until I saw it. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Goosebumps. So if a parent listening right now feels like they're constantly reacting, shouting, snapping or shutting down, what would you want them to know, and how can working with someone like you change that dynamic for good?
So again, they're not alone when they're doing this, and they're not a bad parent. I shout and snap at my kid as a mindful parenting coach. The important thing is to pause, reflect. What's going on for me? Where am I at? Why am I reacting this way? Is understanding that. And then doing the repair with your child. obviously that means that when you've reflected, you're not doing the same pattern over and over again and saying sorry for it. You're learning from it and growing from it. So what I help parents do is I help them come back to themselves. We look at the trigger. What did the kids say that triggered you in that moment? What were you feeling? Okay, let's have a look at that. Where's that come from? We then go and dissolve that memory of yours so that it's no longer keeping you trapped. You're freeing it. And that doesn't mean that you free one, that's it. You're going to get triggers with so many different things. But it's the same tool that I use of going back. Okay, where did it start? Let's release that. Where did it start? Let's release that. And then it's just a ripple effect that happens. But as you, the parent, shifts, your child notices the shift. Your family notices the shift because you're then carrying less baggages with you and you're freer, which means the connection you're building with your child is a freer connection as well.
So, I mean, if someone's listening and they're like, well, I don't have triggers. I don't have something in my childhood that's making me do this. I'm just doing it because I'm tired. What do you say to them?
Then that's a trigger. You're triggered because you're tired, because you're not giving yourself the attention and the rest that you need. But again, we all have trauma. Trauma doesn't have to be big or small. Trauma is trauma. It could be your parent not coming to hug you when you've fallen and hurt yourself. And in your head, you're going, my parent don't love me, my parent doesn't want me. So you've now created a story in your head around that. So it doesn't have to be a big thing. But for a parent who's feeling triggered because they are triggered with the exhaustion, it's just pausing and going, I need rest. How can I get this? For the last 3-4 days, I've been poorly. So at 9 o'clock, I'm in bed. My kid's in bed. And if I'm really bad, my kid will get in bed with me when she was younger because I'm like, Mummy needs to sleep. Or I'd sleep on the sofa. If she's watching TV, I'd be like, right, 1 hour timer. I'm going to sleep for an hour. I just need to sleep because I'm exhausted right now. And she knows it too. She used to be like, Mummy, you fall asleep on the sofa a lot. I'm like, because I'm tired, honey. I really am tired. So it's, again, understanding if you're overwhelmed, frustrated, whatever it is, why? Where are you not creating space for yourself? Go create that space.
And as women, we're not good.
No, of course
at creating
not.
space for ourselves. But it's not just women. Men don't as well. It's any parent. Like, you know, we don't come with a rule book.
No.
Or, you know, not every child is the same.
No, they're all different. And also as a single parent or co-parent, when you have the kid more, it's even more exhausting because there's no escaping. But again, you have to create that space in the house and help your child understand, I need 30 minutes for myself.
So from your own journey, as both a parent and a coach, what are some common patterns that you see that keep parents stuck? And what's one shift they can make today to start breaking free? Just one shift.
So reacting, definitely shouting, being frustrated, shutting them down. It's, I can't deal with this. No, not now. Stop it. Or just reacting to them. So reacting's definitely the one. Again, it comes down to pausing and reflecting. Everything comes back to you. Your kid is not the problem. Your kid is just being a kid. And like you said earlier, every child is different. So every child will bring their own triggers to you because it's for your own healing. So what I would say is when something happens, pause and reflect. What is going on for me? Why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way? How old do I feel? What do I need for myself right now? And that might mean just going and locking yourself in the toilet for 5 minutes because you just need to breathe. Or, you know, just stepping out in the garden. But yet coming back to yourself, understanding you, because they're never the problem. So 3 fingers back again, look at the 3 pointing back at you.
So someone's listening, a couple, married or living together, got a child, and you can see that it's, say your husband, for example, that's actually not stopping and reflecting. You've then got to deal with not just your child, you've got to deal with your partner.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
He's triggering you for a reason as well. So again, look at yourself. Then, depending on your partner and how open they are, have a conversation with them. Hey, look, I've looked at myself and this is what's come up for me. Obviously, don't do this in passing. Make time to sit down and have a proper conversation with them. I've looked at all of this and this is what's coming up for me. I feel this way. What could you do to support me? And then give them hand them over the mic and say, right, you tell me what you can do. Do you think maybe if we work together to move forward, that would help? Because, you know, I'm doing the work here, but I want to give our child a different future. It's always about the kid. That's why you're doing the work. Yes, it's about us as well. But the end goal, the reason I do this is for the child's future. But the work has to start with the parent. So you have to be open with the other parent and talk to them. And yes, there have been cases where I've worked with people where the husbands are just not open to it. Then you communicate with the child. As the child grows up, the more mindful you are, you speak to the kid that way. The more open you are, you speak to the kid that way, which means that the kid is getting a different understanding. My ex and I don't live together, but we're very different parents. My kid says it herself. She's like, you and daddy are so different. I don't know how you guys were ever married. But again,
And
it's
she's
because
only 9 and
yes,
she picks
and
up
she
on
can
that.
see it.
Yeah.
But I also remind her that mummy was never this person married to your daddy. I was an angry person when I was married to daddy because I had stuff I hadn't dealt with. But now that I'm this version, I support her. She'll come back with stuff and then I'll sit there and I'll talk to her about it and we'll work through it together if she's open to it. Sometimes she just wants to have a moan about it and I let her. So I think the important thing is to support your child through it if your partner's not open to it. Be open with yourself so you can be open with them. But that doesn't mean go share your deepest, darkest stuff with them. It's about helping them evolve. Yeah.
I love that, Aman. So, how does somebody work with you? How do they get in touch with you?
So my Instagram page, and then I've got an email address and they can contact me on there. At the moment, I'm doing one-to-one coaching. There is a webinar coming at some point in this year, which will lead into group coaching. So, but for now, it's just the one-to-one sessions that I'm doing.
And what's your Instagram handle?
It's the Mindful Parenting Coach.
Any other social platforms?
Facebook, which I forget about. So Facebook, the Mindful Parenting Coach. Yes, it's connected, so it all works. Those are the only two I'm on at the moment.
And would you say as a business founder that social media really works for you?
I think it works in spreading the message.
Right.
In making people aware. Definitely. I've had a lot of conversations with people who say, thank you for sharing that. I didn't even know that was an issue or that was going on within me. And that resonated with me. So I think social media is great for getting awareness out there. And then obviously getting people to come in and work with me as well, because then it sparks the awareness within them and they go, I don't want my kid to live the same future that I lived. How do I change this? How do I help my kid have a different future, a different path? That's what I like to call it.
So, I mean, you said you went back to uni to study. Were you working at the time as well?
No. So during lockdown, I had to quit my job because my ex-husband didn't want to take time off work to look after our kid. And I was a dental practice manager.
Right.
So I worked 8:30 to 6:30 and I needed to be in practice. So there's nowhere to leave my kid. So I quit my job and was looking after my kid. But in that time, I thought, okay, what can I do with my life? And that's where I thought, re-educate yourself, learn, and go help other people. So that's how happened.
So it's not a side hustle anymore. It's your full-time job.
It's my full-time job now,
So if someone's listening and they're a little bit scared to leave their full-time job and take the plunge, I know you had to. You didn't actually have a choice. What tip would you give them?
I think what I would say is first make sure that what you want to do really resonates with you. And then do it slowly. Don't leave your full-time job straight away. Because if you're not 100%, dip your foot onto this side and then go, right, does this work for me or not? So you've still got an income coming in. And when you see this flourish and it resonates with you, then you can leave your full-time job.
And the business, if you're passionate about it, your business will grow.
100%.
You're going to pour your heart and soul into it.
100%, yeah. And you will make it work. There was times I used to sit in my daughter's room at silly o'clock writing assignments in the dark because she needed me to sit in her room. So even if you've got looking after a kid's a full-time job and homeschooling them at the time I was doing, I found ways to make it happen. So whoever is confused, you will make it happen. Yeah.
So yeah, you now do it full-time.
I do, yes.
I love that. Is there a website?
Not yet, no.
Coming soon?
Coming soon, yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aman.
Thank you.
Loved having you and hearing your story. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.